Hello, my name is Sam Mihara, and I'm going to talk about an experience that I had, and my family had, and my friends had during a difficult time during World War II, when we were imprisoned in several camps here in the United States. San Francisco is my hometown. Image you are now seeing is the heart of Japantown in San Francisco. This is Post Street. Within a few blocks, most of the people of Japanese ancestry lived in this area. You'll notice that the buildings look very Victorian. There were stores on the street level owned by the families, and the families lived immediately above the stores. I lived one block behind this Post Street, which is on Sutter Street, so it's very close in the neighborhood. The next slide is a photograph of my family on my father's side. Well, that's me on the right side, being held restrained by my father. Dad is next to my mother, and next to my mother is my brother, older brother, and on the far left is Grandpa Mihara and Grandma Mihara. My parents and my grandparents were born in Japan and immigrated, and therefore they're called Issei, where E means number one, or the first generation. And since I was born in the U.S., I'm called a Nisei. Ni means number two, or second generation. The first camps that we went to, the government called assembly centers, which is really not accurate as a terminology. This was a prison camp, and it was very crowded. They were located typically at horse race tracks because they were the only spaces available in the immediate area close to San Francisco. This one here is at a place called Tanforan. Tanforan today is a shopping mall, but before the mall, it used to be a prison camp, and it used to be a horse race track. The housing available at the time were horse stalls, and the first people who went to these assembly centers had to live in horse stalls. However, the day came after about 3 to 4 months when there was a group of trains on railroads which went right next to the assembly center, and now the military was out in full force. The armed guards were there shoulder to shoulder to make certain that we board the train, and we got on. We had no idea where we were going. The government would not tell us. We were on that train for 3 days and nights with armed guards manning every exit or entrance to the train. Hart Mountain is located in northwest Wyoming. That's Yellowstone on the left side of that screen, but to the east of Yellowstone, just about 50 miles away, is the town of Cody, Wyoming, and above that is a little town called Powell. So Hart Mountain is midway between Cody and Powell, just about 15-minute drive from either of those towns. The assembly of the camp near completion. In the foreground are the foundations of the last barracks to go up. In the middle are the construction completed. The frames are up and the walls and roof is up. In the far background, you'll see the dark barracks, which are the black tar paper covered barracks. So that was completed in 2 months. This next photo is very important, and it's somewhat of a rare photo because in one scene you will see Hart Mountain in the background, shaped like a heart. On the left side you'll see the finished barracks on cleared land, and on the right side you see the barbed wire fence. You see the guard tower. There were 9 of those. and you see the searchlights aiming toward the barracks, and all 9 towers were manned with soldiers with weapons when we arrived there. This next photo is also very important. It shows the combination of barbed wire fences in the middle picture, the guard tower, and the signs. The one on the right is in Japanese language and the one on the left in English, and warning people, do not cross the fence. The definition of a prison is precisely these items. That is, if the prisoner felt that he would be subject to bodily harm, physically hurt, if he crossed this boundary, then by definition, he's in a prison. A few people questioned whether we really were in a prison, and they were not there. They don't know. So I have to rely on photographs like this to prove we were truly in a prison condition at the outset. Inside the barrack room, when we arrived, was very, very Spartan. There was almost nothing. There were military cots for beds. In the corner, there was a pot-bellied stove for coal firing, and nothing else. So no furnishings otherwise, and no utilities, no running water. There was one light bulb in the middle at the ceiling, and that was it. So we had to furnish the units ourselves. We either purchased furniture that we mail ordered, or we had some carpenters working very hard to try to get us some livable furnishings. The winters in northern Wyoming were absolutely horrible, and we were not ready. The government sent us to this place without warning as to the conditions to be experienced, and the Heart Mountain that winter hit minus 28 degrees, and we did not have warm clothing to accommodate us. Keep in mind that the facilities, the toilets, showers, were some distance away from the barrack. In fact, here's a picture, an artist rendering of what was inside these communal toilets. For some people, had to walk several hundred feet in terrible Wyoming weather in the winter.